In today's video, we're looking at rehab exercises for neck strains or injuries to the muscles of the neck. The exercises could also be used just for generalized neck pain. So in physical therapy, one of the areas of weakness that we most commonly see is weakness of the neck muscles. If you think about people who go to the gym, we'll strengthen all the other muscles of our body, but rarely do people strengthen their neck muscles. So if you've had an injury where you strained your neck, maybe a car accident where there was a whiplash type movement, maybe you fell down and strained your neck, or maybe it's something from sports, you involved in some movement that hurt your neck and strained it, stay tuned for today's exercise. I'm basically going to show you how to strengthen your neck muscles in all of the movements that are available to our neck. So the exercises we're going to do to build neck strength are pretty simple actually, and you just have to have a mat and you just kind of lay down, and we're going to look at the 6 movements that are available to our neck. We've got flexion, extension, right and left side bend, and right and left rotation. So we're going to strengthen in all those movements. We want to strengthen in all 3 planes of motion. We don't want to miss one because then your likelihood of having a strain goes up. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at flexion first. What you're going to do is lay on your back. Okay, so this is just called a flexion neck curl. It's kind of like doing a sit-up for your neck. So you're just going to lay here. What you're going to do is tuck your chin in, and then you're going to lift your head up through flexion, and then slowly back down. I can't tell you how many people have weakness. They have a hard time just holding their head up. If you have a hard time holding your head like this, that means your neck muscles are weak. Okay, so you want to work on strengthening them. So we're just going to do curls, tuck your chin, lift, up close to chin to chest, and then slowly back down. That's 1 repetition. You're going to go up and down like that. Okay, so it's really simple. You're going to shoot for, like other strengthening exercises, you're going to look to do 3 sets of around 10 repetitions. Okay, so you can start out with maybe 1 to 2 sets if you've never done this, because sometimes people do get sore in their neck muscles. It might even be a little sore to swallow when they're not used to this. So this is just where you want to start. This is going to be a neck flexion curl. So you're going to, again, kind of tuck your chin, come up, and then back down. Okay, so that's our first exercise of 6. We've got 6 movements. For our side bend and rotation exercises, you're going to be laying on your side. I'm just going to show this on one side, but just know you've got to do the other side to get the other direction of rotation and side bend. So for side bend, I'm going to lay on my side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working the muscles on the top side here that side bend my neck. They kind of move it from ear to shoulder. So what I want to do is drop my head down towards the floor. That's an eccentric contraction, okay? And then come back up as high as I can and feel comfortable. Okay, so that's going to work this top side eccentrically on the way down and then concentrically on the way up. Okay, so I'm going to go for my 3 sets of 10 repetitions, and of course I'm laying on my left side. So when I'm done with this side, I'd want to flip over to my right side and make sure I get the other side of my neck. Okay, so just work through that full range of motion all the way down and all the way up. That's our second exercise. It's called a side bend curl. All right, so next we've got rotation. So again, I'm going to be on my side. I'm showing the other side just so you get the other view and my hair stops flipping around. But for rotation, what you're going to do is you're going to look down at the shoulder that's on the mat, and then you're going to rotate up and look over the other shoulder. We're supposed to have about 80 degrees of cervical or neck rotation, which means you can almost look over your shoulders. So I'm holding my head up, I've got this contraction that I'm having to maintain, and then I'm adding movement so I get those concentric and eccentric contractions where my muscle fibers are shortening when I look up and lengthening when I look down. Okay, so again, this is cervical or neck rotation or a neck rotation curl, because I'm not just working range, I am working range of motion here, but because I'm holding against gravity in all these movements, I'm strengthening my neck muscles. So go basically until you're tired. I've been saying 10 repetitions, but it depends on the person. You might only be able to do 5, maybe you can do 20. Just see what you can do, rotate back and forth, and then let it rest and do the other side. For our last exercise, we're going to look at the cervical extensors, which are right here on the back of the neck. Most of us are decently strong in our extensors because we use them all day. Whenever we bend forward and look down, our extensors have to work. But when people strain their neck, it's often muscles on this back side, especially if it's a whiplash or something where those muscles get sort of stretched and torn. So we definitely want to address them if you've had an injury or you have pain on the back side of your neck. For this one, really the best way is to use a piece of TheraBand, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to get some of this. But what you're gonna do is put this around your head, and you're gonna let your head start kind of forward into some flexion, and then you're gonna pull it back and kind of tuck your chin at the same time. So we're gonna get some cervical extension and retraction. Retraction is when we pull it just straight back and our chin stays kind of tucked. So I can really feel this working in the muscles on the back side of my neck. So you can kind of pull back there, hold it for a second, and you're just gonna do repetitions like that, forward into flexion. Okay, and I can put as much tension as I need on this band. The more I pull it, the harder it's gonna be for my neck muscles. Okay, so you're just kind of trying to find that right spot depending on your pain and current strength level, and you're gonna do repetitions like that. You can even just get here and kind of get into a sort of good postural position and just hold it as an isometric and kind of train those muscles to just hold that position and build endurance. This is often really useful for people who've had whiplash injuries or sports injuries where you've hurt the muscles on the back of the neck, okay? And then as that gets easier, then you can start adding the movement. The chin kind of comes forward and you can retract. You can let your chin drop and kind of pull back up and just work those muscles on the back of the neck. And as you do that, the integrity of those muscles will improve, and as they get stronger, you'll be less likely to strain them again. Okay, guys, so try these 6 movements again. This is one of the areas where we see the most weakness in physical therapy. So even after you're healed, try to incorporate stuff like this a couple of times a week when you're at the gym. Just add it to your strength training program. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Bye.